How you doing? I'm Louie Gamino with Enviroscape LA. We're here at another project of ours in Southern California. At this particular project, we are harvesting as much rainwater as we possibly can. All throughout the entire southwest region of the United States, we are enduring a major drought over the past 10 years. So we are trying to harvest as much water as we can. There are several ways to go ahead and go about doing that. A lot of residents like to use a simple rain barrel. It holds about 50 gallons, and it's more of a residential kind of do-it-yourself or homeowner. Here on site at this particular property, we do have a 5,000 gallon rainwater harvesting unit that is underneath the patio as well. Now that is more of a expert commercial kind of doing as much as we can to save water. Well, what happens if you're not quite the expert, but yet you're more than a beginner and you want to save more than 50 gallons per rain event? Well, I introduced to you our 250 gallon rainwater storage unit. Now this particular product, it's a Bushman that we went ahead and installed here. If you take a look at it, it's about 5 feet tall. It comes about 2.5 feet off that wall. As you can see, we diverted our rain gutters off the resident to this particular Bushman unit. It is very well designed to withstand rain use. You could to not only hold rain, but to withstand wind. Wind actually kind of goes through it. It's kind of designed that way. And you can kind of daisy chain these together. So you could install several of these, 3, 4, 5, along a particular wall, and then you would increase each one by 250 gallons, would be increasing your overall water usage. So this is a 250 gallon unit. We'll just go ahead and walk through the process of how it works. Rainwater is deposited in here. Once it's deposited and the homeowner or client would like to go ahead and use that rainwater, they have several options. If you notice that ball valve there, they could simply attach a water hose and it would then be gravity fed to water their mature trees throughout the landscape, their lawn, plants, so on and so forth. And that's one way to do it, gravity fed. Well, what happens if you're just not happy with, a very small amount of water coming out? You want it pressurized, kind of like when you turn on a faucet. Well, let's take a look over here with what we have installed. We have our external pump that is going to pressurize that water. So once that water, the homeowner decides he wants to use the rainwater that he has harvested, he's going to go onto that unit here, turn the pump on. He could either attach a water hose to this, and he could then pressurize with pressurized water, irrigate his lawn, mature trees, shrubs, so on and so forth, or he could hook it up to a drip irrigation unit, which is what we're going to go ahead and do here eventually. That'll be our next video, where we'll actually feed his drip irrigation unit. His drip irrigation valves are going to water the plants in, say, the hot summer months. So once that unit is filled up with water, he has that option. Well, what happens if between that time we get an intense amount of rainwater? Where does all that water go once this unit is filled up? Well, if you notice this 3-inch pipe here, this is our overflow. So if we get more than 250 gallons in here, well, where is this water going to go? Well, eventually, once it heads down this pipe here, it goes into our vault here. If you notice me tapping on this black grate, that vault actually deposits into our larger 5,000 gallon rainwater harvesting unit. So that's more of the expert. This is kind of an immediate do-it-yourselfer, intermediate rather. If a homeowner wants to tackle a particular project, this is totally doable. You do have to, however, have some knowledge with your external pumps, the amount of water you're pushing through lines, the pressurized lines, as well as what your kind of drip irrigation valves are going to be using there. So it does require more homework than a simple rain barrel. So a lot of times clients will just go and contact us, and we'll go ahead and install these guys here to make sure that all the pressurized lines are run correctly and accurately, so that we don't have any leakage or water waste going through your system. So this is just another tip, how to harvest rainwater and do it in a manner that is going to work with Mother Nature and keep stuff flowing here the sustainable way. So when you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.